Welcome back, everybody! Today is the day that we can stomach things. My sorry excuses for performances, of course. Can we actually stomach that? I have no idea. Also, don't forget, today is also poll day. Be sure to check the description in the end of this video. Is it the end of the video? I don't know. But something like that. Probably the description in the end of this video. There will be a link for it. So just be looking out for it, just so you know. And now, back to the grand finale. Oh, I'm just kidding. It's not the grand finale yet. At least I don't think so. If you have no more objections, then I ask that you let me get back to preparing for the show. Objection! Thank you for the help, Mr. Shields. Though you may have taken it a little too far. You sure look happy. I take it you found something? Look at me, I'm Simon. Simon the clown. The funny clown. Okay, you can stop now. Now then, Mr. Keys, do you happen to like chess? Are you trying to suggest logic chess here? That was rather out of the blue. But since you asked, I can't say that I dislike chess. The mastermind oh, never mind. Duh, yeah, I forgot. The mastermind played correspondence chess with Sirhan Dogen. If I recall, it was Knightley who'd been playing chess with Dogen, wasn't it? Are you saying that he was the mastermind? There was no way Knightley could have been the mastermind. The reason being, the mastermind had continued to work behind the scenes even after Knightley's death. That being the case, who could have written this letter? I believe someone acted as the middleman between Dogen and Knightley. So you're saying that you think I'm the middleman? And just why would I have to go to all that trouble and do something like that? Most likely to make it appear as if there was a connection between Knightley and Dogen. And as a result, Knightley was killed by Patricia Rowland. No way! Are you saying it was all set up so that he would be killed by her? What are you saying? There's no way I can manipulate a person that far. Tell him, pig, squirrel, and cat. Look at me! It takes all I have just to get the animals to perform tricks! If only just a scrap of the letters he exchanged with Knightley still remained. It'd be decisive evidence. I'd like to investigate your room. There could be decisive... If it's the letters you're looking for, you won't find any in there. What? I'm the type of guy who throws his letters away as soon as he's done reading them. Where's the point in living in the past? No. Does that mean he's already gotten rid of the evidence? Mr. Edgeworth, everything you've said so far has been nothing more than baseless conjecture. The evidence. I'm just one step behind it. What should I do? Am I all out of moves? Without evidence, I won't allow you to cast doubt on my friendship with Knightley. Who was that? Excuse me. Did she say objection? I actually wasn't paying attention to that for some reason. Miss Berry, what's on her mind?
I've been listening on what you were all saying, and, when you say Mr. Knightley, you mean Simon's friend, Mr. Knightley, right?
Yes, that's correct. Does she know something?
This morning, a letter arrived from Mr. Knightley. It was for Simon.
What? What did you say? But that's impossible. Knightley's already dead. Well, doesn't mean mail gets delivered instantly. I mean, for all you know, he could have sent it out right before he died, and then boom, like suddenly he dies, and then a few days later, the letter from Knightley arrived. I don't know how long has it been since Patricia Rowland got arrested exactly? I honestly don't know. Knightley's already dead. Miss Berry, please let me see that letter.
Okay, here you go.
Quick, open it! Next move the pawn to g6. Now you can see the path to checkmate. I can't wait to see the look on your face. You weren't expecting to lose at chess against me, right? This is a correspondence chess letter. This is a response to Dogen's last move. Now can you see the path to checkmate? Can't wait to see the look on your face. You weren't expecting to lose a chess against me, right?
The postmark says March 26th, the day before Knightley's death. Seems the letter arrived late.
Since the circus moves around so much, a lot of the mail people send us arrive late.
Now why was this letter addressed to you?
Nah!
This is proof that you were the middleman between Dogen and Knightley. Normally you would transcribe this letter into Braille before sending it to Dogen. And in doing so, you create a connection between him and Knightley.
Dang it! Curse you, Knightley! Why must you continue to interfere? Simon, why? Wasn't Knightley your only friend? Ha! Don't be ridiculous. I stopped thinking of him as a friend 18 years ago.
18 years ago? Would that have been the day of the IS-7 incident?
Thanks to Knightley, I nearly died that day in the snowstorm. While I was on my way to the contest venue where my father was waiting, Knightley suddenly appeared. He held me down, tied up my hands and feet, and with tears streaming down his face. He kept apologizing. My dad's too scary. I can't disobey him. Please forgive me. I'm sorry. Stop it, Horace. I promised my dad. I said I'd taste the desserts. If I'm not there, Dad will be in trouble. I'm gonna let everyone know my dad's desserts are the best in the world. After that, he locked us inside a car. It was so cold I could see my own breath. Before we knew it, the doors had frozen shut, and not even he could get them open. And then, I lost my father.
What?
Your father? Horace Knightley was the son of the murderer who killed my father.
What could this mean? His confession runs contrary to the information we have.
Well, the name of the victim in the IS-7 incident was Isaac Dover. Isaac Dover is my father's name. 18 years ago, my memories were muddled from the shock of my near-death experience. So it wasn't until later that I learned the truth. On that day, my father was murdered.
The culprit of the IS-7 incident was a confectioner by the name of Dane Gustavia.
So that was the name of Knightley's father. That low-life scum of the earth killed my father. Just the thought of him makes me sick.
So you knew who the culprit was all along?
Ha! Of course not. Had I known, I would have tipped off the police a long time ago. All I knew was that Knightley's father was trying to set up my own father. That's why I immediately knew that the one who died that day was my dad. Knightley had a hand in my father's murder. That traitor! He was the son of a killer! It's only natural that he ended up dead!
It would appear that you were a victim of a very serious misunderstanding.
Misunderstanding? Just what are you talking about?
Isaac Dover, at the time, he was actively working as a sculptor in France. Under the name Pierre Haquet.
Is that right? Well, I'm sorry to say, I don't remember that at all.
It's only natural you don't remember. After all, he's not your real father.
Huh? What is that supposed to be? Is that supposed to be a joke? I am not amused.
You won't be able to laugh at all once I reveal the truth to you. This piece of evidence proves that you are not Isaac Dover's son.
Are we talking about the chessboard again?
I'm gonna say yeah.
What's that? Isn't that Knightley's chessboard in this ring?
I want you to take a good look at this ring's design.
There are 2 letters inscribed in it.
That is the seal Pierre Haquet used as his signature. 18 years ago, it was found lying near the body of Isaac Dover.
What? Why would Knightley have my father's memento with him?
The police had found Isaac Dover's son and gave it to him. Isaac Dover's real son is Horace Knightley.
What? But that means I'm...
In other words, you are Dane Gustavia's son.
That's a lie. After all, my father is... My memories are...
Oh no! It's got me!
I lost my father because Knightley locked me up in a car. That's why I thought it would be fitting if he were killed as well. Really? I'll be able to see a circus show even in prison?
Yeah, I enjoy playing chess with you, but I'm looking forward to your performance as well. Yes, please look forward to it.
Alright. You better drop by again. I'll be thinking about my next move.
Oh yeah, I've left something special inside the chessboard for you. You should check it out later.
Something special? I'm not quite sure what you mean, but thanks. I owe you one, Simon.
If only you hadn't stopped me 18 years ago. It wouldn't have had to come to this.
Huh? Did you say something?
No, not a word. Goodbye, horse.
After all that, you saying it was my father who killed Knightley's? Then that means... Was it all for nothing? I didn't want to become some weakling who could be killed by anyone. That's why. I thought I'd follow in Mr. Dogen's footsteps!
This finally proves it. Simon Keyes, you are Dogen's correspondence chess partner. And the mastermind behind this case. ...
That's right, it was me. I'm the mastermind behind it all.
He's finally showing his true colors.
I mean, he started doing that a long time ago, but eh. As you all know, I witnessed the incident 12 years ago.
President Hong's assassination. So the child who drew that picture was Simon Keyes.
When I was found out, I was subjected to horrible interrogations over and over by that heartless Patricia. I'd spend the nights trembling in my bed, terrified of what the next day would bring. I'm sure you can understand why I'd want to sneak out of there, right?
However, Blaze would have likely sent pursuers after you.
Exactly. I was on the run from them every waking moment, 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. I couldn't even sleep at night. I'd jump at the slightest noise. And that's why I became a circus performer. Blaze the Best was the chief prosecutor, and Patricia Rowland was the warden in the prison. No ordinary person would be a match for those two, and there were no adults I could rely on. Furthermore, behind the scenes was the body double who had set those two in motion. Though he was a fake, I was up against a nation's president. Talk about utter despair, right? My only ally was Mr. Dogen. He saved my life after all. He actually helped me out, unlike Knightley.
If this story is true, it's ironic. Dogen, the fiendish assassin, was idolized by the child he saved.
If I followed in his footsteps, I'd no longer have to worry about being eaten alive. That's right! Now it's my turn! My turn to devour those who would feed upon me!
And I suppose you never thought to seek help from the police.
No way, no way, no way! As long as Blaze was around, any evidence would be destroyed by him. Actually, honestly, I don't know if I should go back into like his regular voice when he goes into that pose. I've thought about it, but I'm not entirely sure if I should do that or not. Actually, didn't something like that almost happen today during Patricia's trial? I knew from the very beginning that things would turn out like this.
The evidence from Patricia Rowland's trial. So he's saying that he expected the evidence would be destroyed. I see. So that's why you kidnapped John. To force a guilty verdict even in the absence of evidence.
Objection. Who's to say? But in order to expose the crimes of 12 years ago, there was no other choice.
That's according to you. However, Blaze also attempted to kidnap John in order to manipulate the trial in his favor. Your methods are no different than those of the people you so despise.
That's only if I were actually the kidnapper. But I would never do anything so evil. No way, no way, no way, no way, no way. I just simply couldn't. Besides, Mr. Edgeworth, I'm actually quite thankful to the real criminals for giving me the opportunity to extract such sweet revenge.
So you admit it. Your motive was revenge.
Yeah, I admit it. So what? Sure, I held a grudge against those creeps. But it's not like I'm the one who actually killed them, you know. ... Truth be told, all I did was send some letters. I let Jill in on Blaze's secrets, and let Blaze in on Jill's secrets. And then the two simply ended up trying to kill each other. So you mean to say the murder was nothing more than a result of that? Yep, just like the case at Gordon Lake. It's way easier than trying to control wild animals. All I did was come up with a fake assassination plan for Knightley.
So that was also a part of his plan. If that's the case, then Rook's murder was also your...
Whoa, don't try to pin that on me. Knightley killed him all on his own. Well, it ended up creating the perfect opportunity for me. It's funny how things work out.
How can you say such a thing?
It was the same for Patricia Rowland. I made it look like there was a connection between Knightley and Dogen by using the correspondence chess match and the chisel and the chessboard.
What? You mean to say that you were the one who prepared that chisel?
That's right. I thought it would bring Dogen to mind. Quite a thoughtful little gift, wouldn't you agree? And that was all it took to get Patricia to murder Knightley. Oh, the feeling that everyone around you is an enemy. I know it all too well. The tiniest spark can set off an explosion of fear, resulting in horrific mutual destruction. All I did was watch a comedy of errors unfold from the audience. And you were my final pawn, Mr. Edgeworth.
A pawn? Me?
When you solved their case, you brought both Blaze and Patricia to their ruin. And the weapon that delivered the coup de grace was your own logic.
I didn't solve those cases for your sake.
Oh, I know. You never really cared about saving me. You just wanted to pretend to be a defense attorney, didn't you?
What did you...
All I had to do was go, no way, no way, no way, no way, and act all scared. And you totally believed me. You were giving it your all trying to save me.
Ugh. So even your arrest was just a ploy to make me use my logic?
To be fair, getting arrested wasn't part of the plan. When people began to suspect that the chisel I sent was the murder weapon, honestly, I broke out in a cold sweat. I thought for sure it would be curtains for me. But then a turnabout of miraculous proportions! The genius prosecutor himself had come to my rescue! Well, doesn't it feel nice to be thanked by me? The one that you saved? You should be grateful. I gave you this chance to play the ace attorney.
You're wrong. He wasn't pretending to be a defense attorney. Mr. Edgeworth is always serious about saving people. Even the times when he saved me in the past.
Kay.
Is that so? Are you sure he's not just trying to emulate his own father? The one he admires so much?
Absolutely not. That's not true at all.
Now, Kay. The person he's talking about now isn't Miles, but rather Simon himself. Clearly, he's not able to trust others. The desire to save someone other than himself is something he cannot even comprehend. Say what you want, but make sure you think about it long and hard. Sure, all my targets for revenge got what they deserved in the end. However, instigating murder? Think about it. Can any one of my actions really be considered a crime? I instigated murder? There's not a single word about that in that letter, is there? If I had said the word kill even once, I guess it could be considered instigation. Well, maybe I did say it, but there's no way for you to prove it.
What are you saying? You kidnapped me.
I'm sorry, but that it hasn't been proven yet, has it? The only thing I admitted to was sending the letters. Besides, those letters contain no threats or coercions. I simply conveyed information that each recipient would find beneficial.
No. You crafty little...
Can we do something about it? What was it he said? Integrating murder?
Instigating murder is when a person directs someone else to commit murder. The person who directed the murder can be charged as if he committed the crime himself.
So we just have to find proof that he directed those murders. You make it sound so easy. To be honest, it kind of pees me off a little. Y'all trying to frame an innocent person for murder? Don't you understand? I'm not obligated to waste any more time on this pointless discussion. The police are waiting for you outside of this tent. You have nowhere to run. Really now? You think I wouldn't have an escape route prepared? For example, let's say I gave an order so that all the animals here attacked you. Now what if I were to take my leave during the ensuing chaos? What'd you say? You can't be serious. It was just an example. Wouldn't that make for an interesting show? Here's another idea. What if I pulled out a hidden gun and took John hostage? That might be more exciting. I will never allow you to do such a thing.
I can't tell whether or not Simon is being serious. However, when it comes to him, we should consider anything a possibility.
If you continue to bore me with your dribble, I'll end the show right here. I'd like you to keep that in mind before you make any baseless objections.
No, I can't make any careless remarks. Isn't there some way I can charge him with his crimes?
So, does that mean I can't press needlessly then? Also rebuttal, whatever that said a minute ago, I don't know. Think about it, can any one of my actions really be considered a crime? I don't know if pressing is going to be an automatic penalty, that's what worries me here. To press or not to press? That is the question. Or is it just a bigger penalty for presenting the wrong evidence? Well, I guess let's find out, shall we?
You incited others to commit murder, and they did so. If proof of that was established, you would be charged as you yourself committed the murders.
I know I heard it just a while ago, but what's the technical term again?
It's instigating murder, Kay. Blaze, Patricia Rowland, and Knightley. The crimes are unforgivable, of course. However, the one who pulled the strings from behind the scenes and drove them all to murder was none other than you, Simon Keyes.
Mr. Edgeworth, you really do speak your mind freely. But you know... Excuse me. I instigated murder? There's not a single word about that in the letter, is there?
There's not a single word.
Oh, does that surprise you? You'd reach the same conclusion as you examined it.
Given his composure, I'd say he's not bluffing. Does this mean that every single word in his letters had been carefully calculated?
I mean, is this one of these letters? It says a letter, but no one knows who really wrote the letter. Thanks so much for helping with our plan. We help each other get what we want. It's like killing two birds with one stone. Did you get revenge for 12 years ago? That would be 12 years ago now, wouldn't it? But I don't know. Well, we'll keep that in mind, but I'm gonna press everything first. Well, I guess you could say this is like teaching a monkey to climb a tree. Unless you can somehow prove that I caused those murders, you've got nothing on me. Ergo, you can't accuse me of instigating murder. What a shame, Mr. Edgeworth. If I had said the word kill even once, I guess it could be considered instigation.
I know you instigated the murders.
Perhaps I should let you in on this, Mr. Edgeworth. Actually, I was the one who ordered Blaze the Best to kill Jill Crane.
What? You told me yourself.
But you know, the funny thing is, it means absolutely nothing if you have no proof. I mean, There's no way I'd ever say something like that. No way, no way, no way, no way, no way, no way.
No, it's certainly true. It means absolutely nothing if I can't prove it. If there was some evidence that could prove that he was what he said over the phone.
To prove what he said over the phone. Is there evidence for that? Reporting of what was intercepting the bug that was planted on Kay. Well, I mean, Nicole's tape recorder did get that on tape, so I mean, I don't know.
We'll see, we'll see. Maybe you did say it. Did you or didn't you?
It doesn't really matter whether I did or didn't. That's not what's important. I'm sure you know full well, Mr. Edgeworth. There's no way to prove it. There's no way any proof could exist.
No. Until I find some sort of proof, my arguments are meaningless. Should I press him to draw out more information or review the evidence? At any rate, I must find some way to break through his defense. He confessed to me over the phone. He told me he had Blaze kill Miss Crane. If only there was some evidence that could prove what he said over the phone.
Well, anyway, I would assume there's no way to prove it. Well, sir, you are wrong. We got on Nicole's tape recorder. Objection! Take that, you scum!
It is my firm conviction that you instigated the murders. After all, you told me so yourself.
Perhaps I should let you in on this, Mr. Edgeworth. Actually, I was the one who ordered Blaze the Best to kill Jill Crane.
What?
Excuse me. The coughs, no. Did I say that? I really don't remember.
You may think you can deceive us as much as you want. But unfortunately for you...
Unfortunately?
You used a bug to eavesdrop on our conversations. But there was someone else who wiretapped that bug of yours and recorded the whole thing.
It was recorded? In other words, a conversation between you and that clown is recorded on that tape. Ugh! Lang Z says, a schemer drowns in his own schemes, and this is what he meant.
Miss Swift, I'd like to listen to your tape.
Roger. Ah, it's right about here. Mr. Edgeworth, Judge Cordy's cell phone is ringing.
Who is this? Are you the person who ambushed Kay?
Mr. Edgeworth, I want to listen on this too.
Very well. This is where it starts.
Well, I must say. ... Huh? That's odd.
What's wrong?
Well, there ain't nothing. Record past this point.
What?
Gosh dang it, Nicole is just as useless as freaking Lotta. Ridiculous. Like, how can they be so useless? Also, Emma Sky, age 18, gender female, high schooler, studying in Europe to become a forensic scientist. But seriously, gosh dang it, Nicole and Lotta, you are so freaking useless. Like, why are you two useless? I don't get it. Oh, I don't get it. I just don't get it. Why? Why wasn't it recorded? Too bad, so sad. Do you really think I'd leave behind any incriminating evidence? The bug I planted has a special feature. It can be turned on and off with a remote control. What? That sort of thing exists? Certainly remote-controlled listening devices do exist. However, are you saying you switched off the device so that your own voice would not be recorded? Precisely! Didn't he just kind of admit to... I don't get it.
Impossible. You couldn't have done that unless you knew you were being recorded.
Objection.
Isn't it obvious I knew? I guess you just don't get it. You could call it a hunch. I had a feeling I was being wiretapped. Miss Swift, was it? I figured things out because you knew about the kidnapping.
Don't tell me. You were listening in on that conversation.
That's right. Though come to think of it, I'm surprised you didn't realize it until now. Some genius prosecutor you turned out to be, Mr. Edgeworth.
No.
Oh my, and what was the end result of all this? Ah, since you don't have any proof of the instigation charges, it's game over.
No.
Mr. Prosecutor, was my recording no help to you at all? Ain't there something, anything at all in my recording?
Miss Swift.
Kay. Yes? The bug was planted in your badge, right? Do you have any ideas? You expect me to come up with an answer right off the top of my head?
You were the only one who came into contact with the culprits!
Nice of you to show up again, Francisca. How unsightly, you're all fussing over useless evidence. Let's move on to the next topic. Next!
What's this? He seems a bit eager to change the topic of the conversation.
You were the only one who came into contact with the culprits!
Only Kay came into contact with Simon. If any sound was recorded at the time, she was with the culprit. Miss Swift, how long have you been recording?
Since 2 nights ago, I reckon.
Since 2 nights ago. In that case, when could a conversation with Simon possibly have been recorded?
Well, I don't remember them meeting up 2 nights ago. I don't remember them meeting up last night. Well, they did all meet up this morning in the courthouse. This morning? What? No.
Miss Swift, can we listen to this morning's recording?
This morning? Sure, that's fine, but... Did you have my badge with you this morning, Mr. Edgeworth? And also, don't forget that you were inside the detention cell. This morning? So wouldn't your voice be the only one on there?
No, I had forgotten that.
Mr. Prosecutor, was my recording no help to you after all?
At the time when Kay was kidnapped by the culprit, it's possible the bug may have picked up the culprit's voice. In which case, the culprit's conversation should still be left in the tape.
Last night or 2 nights ago? I can't even recall what would have happened last night. 2 nights ago?
2 nights ago, Simon brought Kay to the roof.
Oh, we're talking about that, huh? I see, I do see.
If we listen to the recording from that time frame... Miss Swift, please let us listen to the recording from 2 nights ago.
And we shall listen to that recording from 2 nights ago tomorrow. So in reality, it'll be 3 nights ago. Well, that's actually a lie, but you know what I mean. Alrighty, everyone, the cliffhanger begins once again. I will see you all later. Goodbye and good night, and have a nice day, and afternoon, and evening, and night, and morning, and etc., etc., etc.